You know, I realize it has been a while since I made a video. Sorry, I couldn't turn my neck. It's been a while since I made a video, so long that I had to go back and see what my last video was I posted, and a lot has changed. So, what has changed, you may ask, if you don't follow me on Instagram, which, by the way, shameless plug, Lunchbox605, all lowercase, on Instagram. If you want to follow me and follow my progress, I apparently am posting more there than I am on YouTube. But then again, I have a full-time job and I have a lot more other things going on, obviously, hence why my last video it's been a while. So, to catch you folks up, as you can see, I am sitting in my 85 Chevet. That is the basis of my channel. And with that, it's in the garage finally. The weather's gotten colder. I don't feel like working on it outside. You can relate if you are a car person. If you can fit your car inside and work on it, you will put it inside and work on it. I rearranged my entire garage just to put this in here. Now, with that being said, my house has taken quite a big priority trying to get a lot of things done because, well, it's a house, and for one, I need things to work, and two, I'm trying to actually prep my house to sell it. Now, with that being said, I want to sell my house because it's gotten a little too expensive for me this year. They raised the property taxes up about like 2%, which raised my mortgage up about $180, and then my insurance went up. So escrow, you know, if you're a homeowner, you know exactly where this is going. So I have opted to probably just fix this house up and sell it. Now, that's my whole private life in a chestnut. Let's get to the cars. So as you can tell, the Chevette is here in the garage, as well as the Blazer. The Blazer is on jack stands currently, and the reason being is the very last outing that I had with this, actually I went out one more time after the last video I posted. The last outing that I had, we were doing some stuff with it, still trying to figure out what's going on with the boost. Now, we're still over boosting pretty badly. It's very wild and uncontrolled, and I don't know exactly what's going on. So, sorry, my finger's in the way. But I don't know exactly what's going on. We went over a couple different options. Either my wastegate is too small, I have too stiff of a spring for the wastegate being too small. Anyways, so kind of weighing out all my options. I replaced my Mac valves. I've got new ones. Redid the connections on all that. I actually still have to ground them, to be honest with you. The next step is I am going to put a smaller spring in it. I'm going to go from that 8 or 9 pound spring, whatever it was, to like a 6 pound. Just kind of lighten it up a little bit. But going back to the day that I was at the track, I did set 2 new personal bests. One in the 1/8 and one coasting, but one to the quarter. Now, my 1/8 mile was like a 6:38 at, I think, 113. And I let off at the 1,000 foot, and I coasted to a 10:21 at 104. I'll have to double check the slip, but I'm pretty sure I'm spot on. So I could have had a low 10, like a 10.0 car. That would have been cool, which was actually, when I originally built the Blazer, it was a drag and drive goal, is to be just running the 10.0 classes for drag and drive. And then the Chevette came along, and, well, plans change. We're trying to go faster with it. One of the other issues that we discovered at the track while going over the data was the fact that my converter, which is sitting behind me, was too tight. So I sent the converter back to PTC. Thank you for the folks at PTC for helping me out and doing all that. One of the things, though, like most car guys, is when we take something apart, we're like, oh, well, I'll do this, this, and this extra stuff, not just fix that one thing and then move forward. So I took my Turbo 400 that I had built a long time ago. I've had that thing in this car for this Blazer for about 6 years now, 6+ years. And we were going to put an SFI bell housing on it. I'm big on safety. This car the Blazer isn't as fast, but safety is still paramount in my mind because I like my feet. I don't know what. Anyways, while we were taking this transmission apart to, pulling all the guts out to cut the bell housing off, doing it proper, we found a crack inside of the casing. Now, this crack, this is the new body. Anyway, so this crack was actually right here where the high pressure port is for, you know, like you can check line pressure and stuff for those that don't know what that is. So the crack was actually right on the inside of that. Now, keep in mind, I've had this transmission for a while. The only leaks I've had has been from the transmission pan and the output shaft in the rear. I never really had any significant leaks. So that crack in the casing wasn't all the way through enough that it was causing any noticeable issues. So no like drop in line pressure, all the clutch packs and everything like that, the ring gear, sun gears, etc., looked great. I've only had 600 miles on this transmission. So anyways, everything looked perfectly fine. I obviously got worried that something worse could happen. So we changed the casing out. Like I said, we trimmed it back a little bit more here than over here, but that's not really like a big detrimental thing. It's more of an aesthetic thing. So other than that, the rest of the transmission itself is pretty much the same transmission that's been in the Blazer the whole time. So just waiting on some fluid to come in. Ordered a buttload of fluid. This is kind of where we're at with the Blazer. It's just, I just need to put everything back in and kind of test it all out, make sure everything's okay. Now, on to the other car here, the Chevette project. It has been a while video. And what those changes are is, obviously, intercooler piping is completely done. I have bead rolled everything so it fits. I did end up changing intercoolers to a different one. This one is a little bit about the same size as the other, so we should be good there. I feel like it's gonna work. I just need to mount it, so I'm gonna eventually just mount it right here to here with one single bracket, because I can't mount it right here because there is a large kind of indentation where it goes up like to this big hole for the latch, the hood latch. So other than that, that's all good. This just needs mounted and it's fine. And it actually is fairly centered, a little bit more to the driver's side, but it'll be okay. It's actually not even that noticeable. One of the other perks is down here has all that airflow that just picks right up into it. So with that being said, that's the cold side, completely done aside from the blow-off valve and securing the intercooler. The other things that I have done is the radiator is in. This is an AFCO lightweight radiator. It is 2 inches thick. The core itself is 17 and a quarter high and about 22 and a half inches wide, I believe. Don't quote me on that. That's just ballpark where my brain is at. I had such a hard time finding a dual pass radiator that was perfectly wide enough or tall enough. It was either too tall or too wide. I paid quite a bit for this, I'll be honest. But you know what? In the end, it's worth it. It has a Permacool 2600 CFM fan, 2300, somewhere in that ballpark. It does take up quite a bit. It takes up the entire top to bottom. But I have a little bit of side to side here on both sides. There is some mounting points that I can build a shroud and just have it kind of just block off this whole area. And I think that that will be perfectly okay. So I've gotten all that done. And I've got my coolant lines. They are dash 16 lines. So this is the top hose all the way to the back there. And then I have my bottom hose. I didn't want to run a buttload of hosing, like doing like a cross flow kind of deal where I have like a giant hose along the bottom all the way there, or a giant hose that came around the top of the like exhaust manifold over there, or underneath the intake over there, or something like that. I didn't want to do that. So that's why this pricey little SOB is right here. That and also weight. One cool thing about the radiator with the Chevet. So this initially is a 3D printed bracket that I made for this specifically. My buddy Tyler owns a company that specializes in 3D printing. Metal. We made this one out of metal, as you can hear. It perfectly lines up with this bracket hole. I put some nut certs in here. I actually put one over here and it was supposed to be over here. Oops. So we just need to build one more because that was the R&D piece. And the holes are here to drain out all the dust that comes with it. So anyways, that's how it will look. That is a finished piece because it fits perfectly. I also fitted it over here and it fits great. Because these hoses are so thick and stiff, it kind of pushes the radiator up a bit and forward. But with the brackets, we'll be fine. So I have that nut cert hole right there. But I also made one right here because I'm going to put like a little metal shroud right here to deflect air down to the radiator so it's not coming over top and just kind of bypassing the radiator. Because I have some gap here between the intercooler and the radiator, so I was thinking about dropping a transmission cooler right here, since this does not have provisions for one. So I was going to drop a trans cooler right there and mount it. Not sure what I'll go with size-wise or thickness, all that stuff, but we'll get her figured out. But it's all coming along really well. Another slight little mild update on everything. I'm chugging along with this project. It's making headway. I just wanted to get the cooling system done in the cold side in the winter. It's weird how that worked out. I wanted to get all that done this winter, and so far I'm pretty far ahead of the ball game. The Blazer project was not supposed to do this. It was just supposed to be a converter change and just changing the bell housing, and everything would have went back in. I'm just waiting on fluids to come in so I can get the Blazer done. And then I'm just waiting on that other bracket to print. And I think we should be okay. Any progress is good progress at some point in time. I really have no other updates for you folks, other than that's it. I appreciate everybody who's been watching, who's been liking, and for any new subscribers that come along. The plans are moving forward in great strides. Okay, I'm lying. They're not in great strides, but they're moving forward. So, with all that being said, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. It is December 6th. Christmas is right around the corner, and so is New Year's. So, be safe. Happy holidays. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, it'll be sooner rather than later.